Greetings, thanks for checking into the Friday 13th YouTube channel. I hope you're well. Today we're talking about a new album that's coming out in November. It's by the Canadian power metal band Sword. This album is called 3. This album is released on the 25th of November 2022 on Massacre Records. Now, the band were formed back in 1981 by two brothers, Rick Hughes on vocals and his brother Dan on drums. We also have Mike Plant on guitar and bassist Mike LaRocque. Now, the band were formed back in 1981 in Quebec, Canada, by brothers Rick Hughes, who was the vocalist, and his brother Dan Hughes on drums. We also have Mike Plant on guitar and bassist Mike LaRocque. Now, this lineup has been the same since the very beginning, so it's great to see the band make a comeback with the original lineup. In 1986, the band released their debut album, Metalized, on Aquarius Records, and as we all know, this is one hell of an amazing debut album. It's pretty much a cult classic. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. So, Metalized is a fantastic album. It showed potential, very powerful album, catchy songs, great production and amazing vocals. All around a fantastic debut album. Now, this album back in the day featured 10 songs. If you've got the album, you'll know what songs are in there. We've got FTW, Children of Heaven, we've got Stoned Again, Dare to Spit, Out of Control, The End of the Night, Runaway, Where to Hide, Stuck in Rock and Evil Spell. A fantastic album. I don't think there's one bad song on this album. Now, this album was a very successful album. It saw the band tour in the UK and Europe with Motorhead. Not only did the band support Motorhead, but they also had the opportunity to play with Alice Cooper and also to tour with Metallica when Metallica released the Master of Puppets album. In 1988, the band would record their second album, Sweet Dreams. Now, this album's got mixed bag feelings from a lot of fans. Some fans like it, some don't. It's not as heavy as the first album and it's in a slightly different direction. This album also had a really good production and featured 10 songs. So the songs on this album were Sweet Dreams, Trouble Is, Land of the Brave, Back Off, Prepare to Die, Caught in the Act, Until Death Do Us Part, The Threat, Life on a Sharp Edge and State of Shock. Really good album, but like I said, it wasn't quite as heavy as the first album, Metalized, but in a different direction. Catchy songs, still a good album, some great vocals here and music. Now, sadly, this would have been the band's last album in 1988. Unfortunately, the band broke up. I think the way things were going in the metal scene didn't help with the grunge, but it was good to see the band make a comeback in many years later. And as the band were making a new comeback, they decided to release a live at Hammersmith album. I'm pretty sure this was recorded on the Motorhead tour. Now, this new album was produced by the band and it was also mixed by Glenn Robinson, and it comes with 8 songs. So I'm going to tell you what the song titles are. We have Bad Blood, I Am in Command. Some of you out there may have seen the video on YouTube. If you haven't, check it out. We also have Dirty Pig, Surfacing, Unleashing Hell, Spread the Pain, Took a Chance, Not Me, No Way. So they're the songs on the album. It's a pretty short album. It only lasts 35 minutes, but it's a really good album. And don't expect this to sound like early Sword. Times have moved on, people have moved on, productions have moved on, and like I said, there's things like Cubase and Pro Tools now. So a lot of bands are using these. I was really surprised and happy to see that the band had reformed. Rick's vocals are fantastic, really shining through. He's still like he was back in the day. Mike's guitar playing is fantastic, and both rhythm section by Dan and Mike is fantastic too. So it's a really good album. It's got some good heavy riffing, powerful vocals by Rick. Now, the song Bad Blood is the opening song. It's a really good opening song, very powerful. Rick's vocals really shine through, and so does the music by the rest of the band. It reminds me of the Metalized stuff somewhat, and a kind of little bit of Sweet Dreams, but more directed towards the Metalized album. I honestly think that the second song, I'm in Command, is a really good song and it's really well thought out. It's a wise move by the record company and band to release this as a promotional video. Now, the next song, Dirty Pig, that's a pretty cool song. It's got a catchy riffy groove to it. Kind of reminds me a little bit cross between Judas Priest, Pantera, Primal Fear. Somewhat. It's a really cool song. It's very interesting and slightly different from the rest of the album. Now, the next one is called Surfing, and that's just pretty much an intro that's going to go straight into the next song, Unleashing Hell. Like I said, the next song is called Unleashing Hell. This is pretty much talking about the band's history, the formation. It's cool that they've come up with some really cool, interesting lyrics that take the band back to the very start of the band's career. This could be a song easily being released from the second album, Sweet Dreams. Next is the song Spreading the Pain. This has got a really cool catchy guitar riff. This song has definitely got the 80s vibe, and if you like the 80s vibe, especially the early Sword material, then you're really going to like this song. I guess you could say this has a hint of Accept, so if you like Accept, then you're probably going to like this. It's got that Accept guitar style and sound. Next song is called Took My Chances. This is more of a groovy song, but it's still a really catchy song. It's got some brilliant vocals here. Now the next song is called Took My Chances. This is a really groovy, catchy song, and it kind of reminds me of early Black Sabbath with a modern vibe and twist. It's a sort of a song that you'd expect Ozzy Osbourne to sing, and if Ozzy was singing this, it would sound fantastic. And the last song is called Not Me, No Way. This kind of reminds me at the very beginning, for the first couple of minutes, of Overkill. Just the groovy sound that Overkill come up with, not the fast pounding stuff, but just the groovy, punchy sound. I guess as the song goes along, you kind of start to hear vibes and hints of Saxon and Primal Fear. So I really like this album. I think it's catchy, it's got some really good riffing, some fantastic vocals, and it's a great comeback album. I wish the band all the success in the future, so I'm going to give this album 4.5 out of 5. It's released in November on Massacre Records, and the album's called 3. Thanks for watching, Metalheads. Be safe and stay metal.